This is Elizabeth here with your usual program, Sunday School. Today, we're going to read Numbers chapter 12. And the title says, or the caption says, Miriam and Aaron oppose Moses. Who is Miriam? Miriam is the eldest sister of Moses. She played a role in saving Moses' life when Moses was born in Egypt. That time, the Pharaoh passed a law and ordered the Egyptian midwives to take the lives of every male child that is born to the Israelites. Why? Because they were scared that the Israelite population was really growing fast. Even though they were living in bondage, they were mistreating them, giving them hard work. But those people were strong. Why? Because the Lord their God was with them. So he was making them strong. So they were scared of them growing in number, and one day we overpower them and take all their possessions or take the power of reign from them. So that was why this Pharaoh got angry and told the Egyptian midwives to take the lives. That was the period Moses was born. So Miriam played a role in saving Moses from all this trouble. So his mother had to hide him by the riverside, and Miriam has to go hide the whole day, watching him. In the evening, they will come get him back so that he will not cry in the house, and they will come rush and see whose baby is crying. And when they check it's a male, they're going to take his life. So that was how Miriam and her mother decided to save Moses. So, and Moses being by that river, the princess of Pharaoh comes there to take her back. And that fateful day, when the princess came there and saw Moses in this basket by the river, she picked it up and said, "Oh my goodness, he is a very handsome boy." And in fact, it was the princess that gave Moses that name. Moses meaning she found him by the riverside. And then Miriam sneaked out from her hiding place to come talk to the princess. "Oh, my princess, do you need somebody that can take care of this baby for you?" Then she said yes. She said, "I know a very good woman that knows how to take care of babies." And that was how Miriam ran to call their mother. And the princess placed Moses in her hands. And in this way, Moses will wait, will do anything, nobody will touch him, because it is the princess's son he has given to this woman to take care of. And this woman took care of Moses until he was born from the breast. And then the mother took him to the palace of the Pharaoh to hand him over to the princess. And that was how Moses grew up in that palace. And one day he went out for a walk. Unfortunately, he met an Egyptian and an Israelite fighting. And then he was like, he saw the Egyptian overpower the Israelite. And then he just struck the Egyptian once and he passed. And then he hid the body in the sand and he asked the Israelite, run away from here. But that Israelites have seen what has happened. Even though it was him, Moses was trying to free. So one other time, Moses was going on a walk and he met two Israelites fighting. And then he tried to stop them. "Hey, are you two not brothers? Why are you fighting each other?" And they told him, "Oh, who set you to be judge over us? Do you want to kill us as you kill the Egyptian?" So Moses knew that message, the news had spread. And then the news was, sent to Pharaoh that Moses has killed somebody. So Moses, on hearing that that's a comment from that Israelite, he ran away from Egypt all the way to Midian, and that was where he went and met a high priest. He was taking care of his animals and got married to the daughter. So now this daughter has been with Moses, have been giving him children. Because this woman was a Midianite, they are Israelites. They don't even know how Moses got to get this lady, how this lady saved his life. Miriam don't know, they are jealous. And she brought the gossip to Aaron. And she started saying, oh, is it just Moses that God has spoken to? Even we, me and you, that she was referring to Aaron. God has spoken through us. And God heard that gossip. Let's read. Chapter 12, verse 1. Miriam and Aaron began to talk against Moses because of his Cushite wife, for he had married a Cushite. Has the Lord spoken only through Moses? They asked. Hasn't the Lord also spoken through us? Did you see that? And the Lord heard this. Now Moses was a very humble man, more humble than anyone else on the face of the earth. At once the Lord said to Moses, Aaron and Miriam, come out to me. Come out to the tent of meeting, all three of you. So God has heard the gossip of Miriam and Aaron. So God got angry because Moses was more than a prophet in their midst, their family person. Why would you hate him and be gossiping him? So God got upset and he wanted to take vengeance for Moses. Moses didn't hear the gossip, but God instructed all three of them to meet him at the tent of meeting, and they went there. So let's see what God said in verse 5. Then the Lord came down in a pillar of cloud. He stood at the entrance to the tent and summoned Aaron and Miriam. When both of them stepped forward, he said, listen to my words. When a prophet of the Lord is among you, I reveal myself to him in visions. I speak to him in dreams. But this is not true of my servant Moses. He is faithful in all my house. With him I speak face to face, clearly, and not in riddles. He sees the form of the Lord. He sees the form of the Lord. Why then were you not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? So you see, this was the exact what God told them. He said, when I have a prophet amongst you, I show myself to him in visions and in dreams. But unlike Moses, he is not like that. He is a very humble man in all of amongst you all. So I speak with him face to face, one on one. So he's more than a prophet amongst you. Why then are you jealous of him and you talk bad against him? The anger of the Lord burned against them and he left them. In verse 10 now, when the cloud lifted from above the tent, there stood Miriam leprous. So God appeared in a pillar of cloud. So as he's finished speaking to them, he disappeared. That time he had sent leprosy on Miriam. Her body was like snow. Aaron turned toward her and saw that she had leprosy. And he said to Moses, please, my Lord, do not hold against us the sin we have so foolishly committed. Do not let her be like a stillborn infant coming from its mother's womb with its flesh half eaten away. So that was exactly how her body was. So Aaron was describing the way Miriam's body is like with the leprosy, like a stillborn with the flesh half eaten. That's how Miriam's body was. So Aaron, as the minute he turned around and saw that Miriam was had leprosy, he pleaded with Moses. And he even called him his Lord. My Lord, please plead on her behalf that God will heal her. And let's see what Moses said. So Moses cried out to the Lord, oh God, please heal her. The Lord replied to Moses, if her father has spit in her face, would she not have been in disgrace for 7 days? Confine her outside the camp for 7 days. After that, she can be brought back. So Miriam was confined outside the camp for 7 days. and the people did not move on till she was brought back. After that, the people left Hezron and encamped in the desert of Paran. Wow. So because of Miriam, when Moses was pleading to God now on her behalf so that God can cure her, God said, if her father had spit in her face, in her eyes, she would have been in disgrace. But I just gave her leprosy. So they were pleading. So, and then God, instructed Moses to take her out of the camp, just outside the camp amongst the people, outside of the people, so that she will not infect others. And she stayed there for 7 days. And after that, she was cleansed. So, and during that process, the people did not move. They stayed there in Hezron until they had to solve Miriam's problem before they can move and encamp in the desert in Paran.